You there, adventurer? Yes, you. Do you desire knowledge of immense worlds and arcane power? A codex of untold stories and lore? Or perhaps simply easy listening for your daily commute? Then feast your eyes, or, more accurately, ears, upon Dungeonpedia. Shit's about to get nerdy in here.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Dungeonpedia, an exploration into the lore of Dungeons & Dragons. We're your hosts, Lynn Markell.
Taylor Stanfield.
And I'm Travis Beasley, and oh my god, I apologize if you guys hear the cats in the background for this recording. They have literally been the clingiest cats for the past, 3 days, and I can't figure out why.
I'm okay with it, because I like it when they're, clingy and they want affection. I'm happy to give it to them, but,
Not right now, for an hour, just chill out.
Just chill for an hour, or also, while I was editing our other podcast, and, anytime I'm getting ready for work.
They've just been super clingy, and they're currently outside of the door right now, meowing like crazy. So if you hear them, don't worry, we're not neglecting them. They're just clingy.
They're that clingy.
Yes, they really are, and, I can't figure out why, and I feel bad for having to abandon them. We've done everything we could to distract them, like we usually do when we come in here, but it's just not working today.
You're very sweet kitties, but not right now.
Yep, they're just being clingy today.
They're just really into today's topic. They heard what we're going to be talking about, and they really just wanted to.
So, today I am doing something a little different-ish, kind of. We're talking about clerics.
Okay.
And the reason I say it's a little bit different is because as I was kind of trying to figure out what I was going to research and what I was going to do, I looked back at the original white box set, was reading through some of the bits and pieces, and was kind of looking through, and I thought it would be a really cool idea if we went through, I decided clerics in this case, to see what has changed and how they kind of advanced from where they started to where they are now.
So literally following a class from edition to edition, from the original white box set to modern day.
Yes.
Literally what we talked about on our first episode.
So, I'm sorry, Travis. I understand, because I've thought about doing this for classes before, and I thought it was a little much for me to do that particular week, but, you're literally describing what we do.
I'm just, it was just funny to me, the phrasing, because, if I remember, that actually kind of falls into, literally our first episode description.
This is...
I'm not calling you out.
Our first episode was Archlich, first of all.
No.
What we talked about is, something we would do.
Our premise.
One of the basic episode premises.
Yeah, that was forever ago, and new listeners might not know that if they haven't listened to it. Listen,
I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying it was funny to me. The phrasing was good. I liked it. It's a nice callback.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just pointing out that that's what we do most of the time.
Okay, so clerics in the white box set. I'm ignoring you guys now.
Okay.
So, in the white box set, first of all, oh my god, reading the white box set, because I have no fucking clue how chainmail worked and how the rules for that go. It was hard to decipher some of this shit.
I can imagine.
It's like reading ye old Middle English.
Yeah.
Where it's you kind of understand it. You understand most of the words, but put together, you're
It just didn't really make a lot of sense to me.
I understand all of those words separately.
So I apologize in advance if there are things that I say that are not actually how it's supposed to be in the white box set for those that know. It's just what I was trying to figure out on the way. Clerics are one of the very first classes that were introduced.
Right.
They were part of the 3-book white box set. That was including fighting men and magic users.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Which you would say is allegorical for fighters, and then
all magic,
and
all
then
of them.
all magic users were under one. There wasn't a difference between arcane and divine,
or sorcerers and wizards.
It was just magic users and fighting men.
And clerics and rogues?
Nope, it was just fighting men, magic users, and
Thieves
clerics.
were an occupation, I believe.
Yeah, I think they were like
Okay.
a weirder occupational
Hazard.
It's weird. But clerics gain advantages from both fighting men and magic users in the sense that they can use magic armor and weapons and magic weapons, and they have their own spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, they could not use any edged or bladed weapons.
Oh, okay.
It was all
blunt. Force
bludgeoning.
trauma.
Yeah. So there was no edged weapons, basically.
So they use like maces and shit like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Maces, flails, staves,
Okay.
probably.
I don't know why, and
Their
this is
fists.
probably not even at all accurate, but it kind of reads to me like an early version of multi-classing.
Kind of. It was just like a built-in multi-class.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how Pathfinder had like, and I don't know if any other edition had this because I haven't looked that thoroughly into it, but Pathfinder had those hybrid classes that were basically multi-classes that were pre-built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could use more magic items than fighting men class could. I guess each class was, what's the word? Restricted to how many magic items or what kind they could use.
I suppose that makes sense.
So clerics could use more than fighting men class and probably about equal the amount of magic users.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually really cool. So the levels of progression in the white box set were slightly different. You had different, like, and I didn't write the whole list, but just thinking, you had different ways of progression. Like, say you started out as a commoner,
Right.
you level up, you could become like a noble, a king, or basically kind of like as you leveled up, you went up this
Social ladder.
It wasn't just like an actual physical level up.
Right. So when clerics reached the top level, they were called patriarchs.
Okay.
Okay, so like the head of like a
religious.
Yeah, I've heard that word used in that context.
Yeah, like a religious church or order.
Okay, so I remember in the earlier editions that female characters were restricted in what they could and could not be. Am I to assume that in that case that women couldn't be clerics?
You know, I didn't read anything about it, so I'm not actually sure.
That might be something to look up like later and just look into,
because
that's really interesting.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is like when I say I've had this assumption, like I didn't have this assumption because it was like the 70s or whatever, but I had heard that was the case.
Right.
But I haven't done enough research into like classes from like white box era to actually have like tangible like,
because if I remember correctly, female characters could not be fighters in the white box. I don't know for certain, but I think that's how it was.
I believe you're correct because I remember us talking about this before.
Yeah, and I don't even remember if it was talking on recording or just us talking.
Yeah, same.
But unfortunately, none of us can pull from, chapter 24, section 2A, paragraph 3, and like, sorry about that.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, but.
And if we're wrong, just let us know.
Yeah. So whenever they reach this patriarch level, they could opt to build their very own stronghold.
Yeah, I've heard about these too.
And when they decided to do this, they would receive help from above. So basically help from
Their god.
By doing this help caused them to basically be able to gain a stronghold worth double than what they spend. So if they're like, okay, I have 100,000 gold, I'm going to buy the materials and the workforce and everything to build this stronghold worth 100,000 gold. They would actually be able to get one that's worth 200,000.
We will match your donation dollar for dollar.
That's
up to
literally
1 million
how
gold.
it reads. Yeah. Or I guess how it listens since I'm not reading this. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
For some reason, it reminds me of like how some places will have like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you're a man of God, we'll give you a discount, for priests and pastors and stuff like that. I don't know if that's a thing everywhere else, but it's like a huge thing in the South.
Yeah.
And after this castle, stronghold, whatever they call it,
Cult compound. Because you said the word stronghold and I was immediately like, your high level cleric can start a cult.
well,
That's what that said to me.
Actually,
Oh no.
Oh no.
after this is built, faithful men will come to the castle and are fanatically loyal to you. They will
Ooh.
serve this cleric at no cost.
Did you say cult? Here's a cult.
I mean, and that's probably supposed to sound good because it's sort of like, it reminds me of when we talked about like Oriental Adventures. I know that this is the case for like very standard D&D and older editions.
Right.
But like if you were a samurai and you were high enough level, you could get Ronin, or, you know, you could get like other assorted employees. And it's probably just supposed to sound like that.
Yeah.
But when they say fanatically loyal,
they are fanatically
That sounds
loyal.
That's
bad to me.
That, oh my god, Dragon Age Inquisition rips Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, that's a... Oh no, we can't get too deep into that one.
Nope. So we're just going to continue on. A patriarch cleric could receive between 10 to 60 heavy cavalry units, 10 to 60 horsed crossbowmen, and 30 to 180 heavy foot units. Okay, again, you have to remember this was built
So like,
off of chainmail, which was a war game tabletop.
Right.
So it was kind of just using those
that terminology.
terminologies for these things. But basically, they could gain a lot of people for their stronghold.
An army.
An army, yes.
An army, you might say.
And an army for your cult.
It does note that clerics that are of 7th level or above at this point are either law or chaos.
Yeah, because they were required to be one of the two. You couldn't
Yeah.
have neutral clerics.
Yeah.
And that there was a very sharp distinction between the two of them. So if a patriarch receiving the benefits from one switches sides and suddenly goes from chaos to law, they immediately lose all of those benefits.
Yeah.
So it would literally kind of be like, I'm trying to think of an analogy in like a more modern Dungeons and Dragons. I guess like if you converted to like different domains.
Yeah. Or if you're like a warlock and you piss off your patron, you can lose your...
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, that's more to do with like the individual powers that you possess, I guess, as opposed to just your...
Societal.
Well, is it okay to say if a cleric goes from law to chaos, they lose all that? Is that just their external, like, is that just they just lose their stronghold and their people, or do they like lose their divine powers also?
They probably lose both.
Okay, so it is a combination of a divine reaction and a social reaction.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, no, me too.
I do remember it saying that they lose their followers because their followers at that point would have been like chaos, and since their leader suddenly became law, they'd be like, yeah, we're done.
We're not
And they would just leave.
following this guy. He wants to follow the law. What the fuck is that about?
Now, clerics with castles would control a territory like all on their own, and this would allow them to receive, I think it's pronounced tithes,
Tithes.
equal to 20 gold per inhabitant per year
Jesus.
for their territory.
Wow.
So, if you got to that level, you could just pretty much rule this little territory and be good.
Okay, so that means that each person makes 200 gold a year if they're giving their 10% to the church. Fun fact.
Oh my God. They only had access up to 5th level spells, but one of my favorites from this is called Finger of Death.
Oh my
boy.
god.
So instead of raising the dead, which was a whole other spell, this spell creates a death ray, which will kill any creature unless a saving throw is made. The range of it is 12 feet. This is before they implemented the whole 5-foot increments
It
thing.
was yardage, right? Was it yards or was it 4 feet?
I don't actually remember, but I think I don't remember, but it's before they realized that people understand 5-foot increments better.
A
Yeah.
yard is 3 feet for anyone who lives in a sensible country that uses the metric system and doesn't know that.
God, you're so lucky.
We get it, it's stupid.
God, I wish that were me.
It specifically states that a cleric type may use the spell in a life or death situation, but misuse will immediately turn him into an anti-cleric.
Anti-cleric?
Yeah, apparently anti-clerics were a thing in this too. I didn't look into it because there's a lot of stuff I have to go through, so I was just like continuing on.
Cleric?
I think anti-clerics lose, like, all their abilities.
They might get, like, new abilities, kind of like anti-paladins do, but...
What are
Maybe,
anti-paladins?
You don't know what anti-paladins are?
I thought
whole other episode.
I thought I was anti-paladin.
You are anti-paladin.
I didn't know they
And
were.
Anti-paladin is kind of like a former paladin. I think now they're
Kinda
called
like an
Oathbreakers.
Oathbreaker,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Anti-paladins were from, like,
They're
the earlier
edition.
editions.
Oh, okay.
3.5, Pathfinder.
Yada yada.
So, do lose their powers, but they gain additional powers. I don't know if that's how that works for anti-clerics, but like it would kind of suck. Although I could see White Box doing this because it was very unforgiving. It would kind of suck to like have this character and make this like decision, and then suddenly you're useless.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be up to the DM's discretion, which, by the way, not called a DM in the White Box set. It's called a referee.
I'm a referee. Oh yeah, where do you referee? My house.
Hi, welcome to Projectile Dysfunction. I'm your referee, Travis.
Yeah.
Okay, I expect you to show up to all of our sessions now wearing a ref's
Wearing your
uniform.
ref's uniform.
Please do, yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
So we're going to jump to Advanced D&D First Edition. Just kind of falling down the line here. I say
Right.
jump, that's literally...
Like
We're-
the next,
next
step.
We're taking a step.
In this edition, it was required that a character had to have a minimum wisdom score of 9 to be a cleric.
Which is not that hard.
Or 13 if it was a multi-classed half-elven cleric.
Which is harder.
Which is weird, like, you're a half-elf, but you can't be a cleric unless you have a higher wisdom than a freaking half-orc, by the way.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like, why were they specifically singled out?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, half elves are so cool and so great that they have to, they have to
boy.
nerf them somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, I will say the multi-class aspect, that does make sense to me, that you would need a higher wisdom to do two things at once.
Oh, yeah, no.
And have cleric be part of that than for that to just be your baseline
No,
class.
that
makes sense to me.
That's what makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense is the fact that half elves were specifically singled out.
Yeah, it was only
mean-
half-elves that were singled out here.
Yeah.
Now, the kind of cool thing that I find interesting, but also a little, like, overpowered in First Edition, was that if a cleric had a wisdom score higher than 15, the character added 10% to the experience awarded to them by the
Oh.
referee.
Oh my gosh.
That's
So, like, a cleric would be able to bypass the rest of the party in levels just because of this extra 10% experience gained.
I wonder if other
That's where the 10% is. That's the type.
Yeah,
I
there it
wonder
is.
I wonder if other classes
Have
had
similar
that for
things.
different attributes.
And it's possible because I didn't look into it, but if not, then holy shit, clerics are OP.
I mean, yeah.
That's also for people who use real experience points and not milestone, but
Yeah, I don't think I have ever been in a Dungeons and Dragons like
group
that has used experience.
or
Yeah,
like it
me
used
neither.
it so strictly that 10% would actually be meaningful.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's there just in case.
That's an interesting
It is.
factoid of the
And
movies.
I know that there are lots of people who do like experience.
And like
using
that's
it.
fine. It's just I personally have always participated in instances that use milestone.
Yeah.
Oh, something I forgot to mention in the white box set, which doesn't have anything necessarily to do with clerics so much as I just find this kind of funny and bizarre. When starting a campaign and creating characters, the players don't roll for their ability stats.
Oh, I don't like that.
The DM does.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, excuse you, the referee.
I'm sorry, the referee does. And the referee would roll it and be like, okay, your highest score was strength, so the best thing you could play would be a fighting man class. They didn't have to, but it was kind of like, this is what I rolled for you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that'd
Because
be
there was no rolling set amount and then assigning the attributes however you wanted. It was, okay, for strength, I roll 3d6, you get 4. That sucks.
I don't like that at all.
That would-
not one bit.
and that would definitely be one that like even if I was with having you do that, I would want you to remove the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled all ones for your stats. Wow.
So weird.
It's weird how that doesn't even make sense rolling 4d6, but it happened. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
You should just play it.
Oh no, it was 3d6, wasn't it?
3d6.
Okay, it wasn't 4 and drop the...
No,
Yep,
it
it
was
was
just
4
3d6
or
and
3,
you take what you get.
Okay. Well, you would still roll a 1 somehow. Excuse me, I would still roll a 1-1 somehow, even though I'm not physically doing the rolling.
Okay, so continuing on in first edition,
Right.
it goes on to say that a high strength and constitution are desirable, as well as a good dexterity would be beneficial. So it's like, yeah, you really need a good wisdom score, but also you really want a high strength and a high constitution, and maybe some like high dexterity would probably be a good idea.
So really, you should just be good at everything.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, you need to calm down.
But you can be as stupid and uncharismatic as you want.
Exactly.
Oh, so I would be a perfect cleric.
Taylor!
I'm sorry, it was right there.
Taylor, you're very smart and you have average charisma.
Thank you.
They have a D8 hit die per level, so now we get into a hit dice has been
Implemented.
implemented, and it's a D8, and if I remember correctly, it stays a D8 for the rest of time at this point.
I think so, yeah. I think most classes are a D8 hit die.
Barbarians are a D12, and let me tell you guys, it's great.
Congratulations.
They are dedicated to, you know, a certain deity or even several deities in like certain cases. Now they can be any alignment except for true neutral, depending on the deity that they serve.
They have to
So,
take a stance.
Yeah. They can't be true neutral, but whatever your deity's alignment is, they can go with. They have their own holy symbols now, and they're still forbidden from using edged weapons or pointed weapons which shed blood. That's literally what it said.
Well, I mean,
kind of like that interpretation.
I do too, but on the other hand, like, is it illegal for you to use, like, because you can shed blood with a blunt force weapon. So, like,
Yeah.
like if you
Yeah,
bash someone's
it's-
teeth out, there's going to be blood.
There will be blood.
There will
It's
be
kind
blood.
of, it was kind of funny.
It is funny. It's just, it's
Yeah.
funny that that's where the line is drawn and not like, try not to draw blood.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it feels very appropriate for a class whose whole steez
Is protecting life, usually.
no, who is based in like their faith and religion.
Oh, yeah.
Which could very easily come with really specific weird, like, I don't know
Oh.
why this is like this, but it says it is, so
Yeah.
I can't use a sword, sorry.
Yeah. Like, I guess it would be kind of seen like using a blunt force weapon would be seen like, yeah, you accidentally drew blood, whereas a sharp weapon would be like,
That's
oh,
what
you
you-
fully intend to draw blood.
Yeah, that's what it's made for.
Not to mention, and I don't know how much of this I am using correctly because I've like, this is literally just an outsider perspective, but like a lot of like early religions and pagan religions and stuff like that that have influenced Dungeons and Dragons religions are blood is like big and a big thing and sacred, if not downright, if sacred and taboo, depending on the use. Like, so it would make sense to me that blood is, in that sense, it's not something that you fuck around with.
Yeah, it's the most important fluid.
Yes.
Wow, you guys went way deeper into that than I thought
Sorry.
you were going to go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Humans that are clerics are the only ones that have unlimited advancement levels in this. So if you're another race,
99.
yeah, if you're another race, you have like an advancement cap. I didn't look into what those caps were, but you
They
have
exist.
an advancement cap. They start gaining followers when they reach level 8, as long as they establish a place of worship.
Okay.
I mean, you know, a building that has all the necessities for worship, basically.
Can't have a sword, but you can have a cult.
But you can have a cult. They do still have the ability to construct a stronghold at level 9. Same basic principles as in the white box set. It costs half as much as it would normally due to religious help.
Right.
The surrounding territory, if it is cleared and humans dwell there, they receive 9 silver pieces per inhabitant per month in this one.
Jeez.
Oh, so they're making 90 silver a month. So I think the economy's taking a little bit of a hit between White Box and AD&D.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of a
Let's
blow
talk about the
there.
economy.
Let's talk about the Dungeons and Dragons economy.
Taxes.
They suck.
Yeah, a little bit. Jumping to 2nd edition. In this one, it states that clerics are generally good,
True.
but now they can be any alignment as long as it fits their religion.
Which I believe is pretty much how it stays until now.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. That one kind of is just like okay, this is working. We're going to keep it that until it doesn't.
Yeah.
They have a cap for wisdom, or not a cap, a minimum requirement of wisdom, which is they have to have a minimum of 9.
Yeah, which is the same
Yeah.
Yeah.
as the general requirements.
So that's still kind
From
of
last
rolling here. A cleric with a wisdom of 16 or more gains 10% bonus experience. So
so wild.
even in second edition, it's like, hey, you gain bonus experience if you have a wisdom of 16 or more.
Woohoo!
They're still limited to blunt bludgeoning weapons. Still can't shed blood with sharp weapons or pointed weapons for whatever reason. This actually states that they received their spells as an insight from their deity. So now we have a specification of
Where they come from.
where they come from. Basically, preparing spells is kind of like the cleric praying for the spells that day, and the deity gives it to them.
Okay. Hey, I really need to be able to set something on fire today.
I think I can do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, fine.
But you're going to have to pray extra hard next time.
This kind of added like an interesting point that it said, if you abuse these powers, your deity could just take them away for like that day. So like
You're grounded.
So yeah, it's like I granted you this power and you abuse it. So now you just can't cast spells. How about that?
Petty deity. I love it.
I
Grounded.
thought you
bitch.
needed it for a candle, but you set a fucking forest on fire, so no more fire, no more sacred flame for you.
No more fire for you. They're granted power over the undead now. They're generally charged with defeating them. They gain turn undead. But if the cleric is evil, they can use it to bind the undead to their will instead.
Ooh.
So depending on what kind of cleric you are, you can either turn the undead or force them to
Obey you.
obey you and fight with you. Which, let's face it, if I was an evil cleric, that's what I would do.
If you were an evil cleric?
Shh. They don't need to know our secrets.
No, Travis owns too many swords to be a cleric.
This is true, at least in second edition. They gain a fanatically loyal group of believers at level 8. Kind of the same thing as long as they build a place of worship. This one does actually state that if the player wanted to, they can start building this place before they gain the 8th level.
Oh.
And when they reach 8th level, then they'll get their followers. But if they finish it at like level 6,
It's just going to be
it's
empty.
just gonna be an empty place of worship until level 8, and then suddenly all these people are like, oh hey, we're your cult now.
Hey, you should always start building your cult stronghold early.
Yeah. I mean, that's just...
Because you want to make
Easy
sure
math.
that you can
So you want to make sure that you can fuck?
you can fuck in your
Whoa.
you can defile your church before it's actually a church. So it's like,
Or
okay.
is it really defiling it depending on what your
kind
church
of-
is used for?
Yeah, depending on what kind of god you follow.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh.
Like if you're a worshiper of D&D Dionysus, then it's like you should fuck in your church.
Weird.
Yeah.
You should party in your church, more accurately. I know.
Drink lots of wine and have lots of really good sex.
Yeah.
Really good orgies specifically.
Yeah.
So, in this edition, specific spells from deities is introduced now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it matters more who you
Worship.
It has
Right.
more day-to-day consequences for your character who you worship. Well, it has more combat consequences. If you
Yeah,
worship.
it has some different consequences, and depending obviously on like what the DM decides, priests and clerics of certain like mythos may only be allowed access to like certain spells.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of depends. But they've now introduced that. This is the thing that I found kind of weird though. Spells fall under certain spheres that a cleric can be granted major or minor access to.
Huh.
Instead of like domains, they're spheres.
Oh, like if anyone else took AP World History in high school, we talked about the spheres of influence in China for like
Right.
2 weeks. So that,
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Like
Yeah.
the language is just a little weird for D&D.
Yeah, like as
Especially when you're used to
domain,
domain.
which objectively makes more sense, but sphere doesn't not make sense to me.
Right.
having major access to them gives them the ability to all of the spells as long as they are the required level. minor gives them access to only third or below of that specific sphere.
So are these spheres completely analogous to domains? So is it like a sphere of travel, a sphere of
Yes, they're
good,
pretty
of evil?
much
Domains. Okay.
So here are all the spheres that it listed. You have all, animal, astral, charm, combat, creation, divination, elemental, guardian, healing, necromantic, plant, protection, summoning, sun, and weather.
So like different from the selection of domains that we have nowadays, but like the same concept.
It's the
Yeah.
same like concept.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not even going to say that. I hate that phrase.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I want to know what the phrase is now, but...
Yeah, well, how about this? I'll tell you during our break.
Boo.
And that way, so it's not on recording because no one needs to know.
I mean,
Oh, no. Now everyone's going to be really curious.
Good. Hey, everyone. Thank you for listening to our Cleric episode. Hopefully, it's been enlightening.
I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Just wanted to stop, do our usual thing here. If you like our podcast, please consider contributing to our Patreon at Dungeonpedia. There are some tiers available. We're still working on some of the
Content is
bonus
hard.
episodes. Content is hard, especially when you still work full-time jobs and stuff. But
We're finding the time to do it and plan it and get it taken care of.
But even if you do like
Patreon.
the $1 tier a month, that would be great. It would just help us to maybe cover costs and stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, right now we are operating at a net loss, but a net fun game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way,
we'll
we're having
workshop it.
fun.
We're having a great time,
Yeah,
and we
we're
really
having fun.
appreciate you.
Yeah, you don't have to contribute. Just if you feel like
If
it,
you
go
want
for
to.
it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it and you can.
If you enjoy our content, you might also be interested in checking out our actual play podcast, Projectile Dysfunction, which you can find on Twitter at ProjectileCast.
Dungeonpedia is also on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, all at Dungeonpedia. There you can follow us. We post interesting stuff, teasers for each episode, pictures of us doing dumb shit, pictures of the dumb shit we talk about.
Just lots of dumb shit. Please follow. Like, we're not advertising it well, but
If we happen to end up in our local hobby shop and we're looking at more minis that we probably shouldn't buy,
But Travis also does a wonderful job because for the most part he runs all of those, and he is very active on Twitter. If you want to interact with him, that is honestly the quickest way to get a hold of him.
you are 99.9% of the time talking to me.
If you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, just want to talk, you can also email us at dungeonpedia.podcast@gmail.com.
wherever you listen to us, you can subscribe to get notifications of new episodes. And also on any platform where it's available, we would really appreciate it if you would rate us and leave a review. Those are very helpful. And also,
The most important and most helpful.
even more so, yeah, is to tell your friends. If you have any friends, family, coworkers, whatever that you think would enjoy what we're doing,
I know they exist.
they have to.
We can't be the only ones.
We can't be the only people. But yeah, just let them know about our podcast.
Big thank you to Alexander Nakarada for our theme song, Blacksmith.
And I think that's going to be it for our clerical stuff we have to take care of.
Nice.
Thanks.
It was good. It was good.
Thank you. So with that, back to the actual clerics.
All right. So, Travis explained why he hates phrases that happen to be similar to the phrase or / word similar, but continuing on.
Continuing on, we are going into 3rd edition. Shocking, I know. In 3rd edition, this is kind of when we start seeing everything get a bit more organized to like the general layout that we're used to.
Right.
Like religion. Stupid. That didn't land the way I thought it would. The joke was organized religion.
So, god damn it. In 3rd edition, this is when I've first saw the phrase of divine magic. So now they're classified as masters of divine magic.
As opposed to arcane magic.
Yeah. And their spells usually represent, that of their chosen deity. They are no longer limited to only using blunt and bludgeoning weapons.
Yay, they got swords now.
Yay.
Now they can use all simple weapons, which include, daggers, swords, sickles.
Well, like short swords, I think. I think
Yeah.
long swords are martial weapons.
I think so.
Yeah.
So short swords,
At least
throwing
as a 5th
knives,
edition they are.
what have you. They can actually use bladed weapons now.
Quarter
Yay.
staves.
I'm proud of them.
Let's just list all
Yay.
the simple weapons.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. I actually, almost started typing them all out, and I was like, wait, no.
Why am I doing
This is
this?
stupid. I was
That's
like,
stupid.
delete all of that. They can wear armor, and this is the first that I saw anyway of it mentioning that armor interferes with arcane magic but not divine. So now we have that kind of separation of wizards and sorcerers can't really wear armor, but clerics can because
Right.
there's a difference between divine magic and arcane magic.
Yeah, which I feel like the caveat is always that it apparently interferes with the gestures required in somatic magic.
Yes, that's
Or-
pretty much it.
Yes.
Somatic components.
Yeah. Gestures.
Which is kind
Which
of
is
strange because
stupid.
clerics do still have somatic components to their spells.
Yeah, it's like, so what's the truth?
Yeah, because I mean, the truth is that they wanted spellcasters to really be bad at something
Yeah.
and be
And
unable to wear
balance,
armor.
I understand balance is an important thing. And if your spellcasters aren't squishy, then there is literally nothing stopping them.
Exactly.
But
It's just one of those things that if you examine it too closely, it starts to fall apart a little bit. You
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
have to.
The only thing that I can really say that I can kind of understand is when you look at arcane magic and the fact that their spells with semantic components are cast because of their precise movements, whereas a cleric probably doesn't need the precise moves because their energy and power comes from the god rather than the components themselves.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of different interpretations as to how it maybe moves through a person or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not specifically outlined. Whatever. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine.
Clerics get armor.
Clerics can get armor, but also they're like a hybrid spell casting melee class, so they need that extra protection.
They need to stay alive so they can be the last person standing.
Or
and
cast Zone of Truth. Eh.
okay, I was wondering how long it would take.
So they still have the freedom to be in the alignment, though it is stated now that people tend to worship more good deities than neutral or evil ones.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're looking for something to help you get through the day.
Right.
And something good will probably do that more for you than something evil.
Probably.
Probably.
We don't know.
Not for all people, though.
But also, it does specify that this is also because lawful is more well structured than chaotic is.
So it makes
That makes sense.
a better organized religion.
Right.
It's also worth noting that maybe for someone who doesn't know a lot about gods in D&D, is that most of the time your alignment doesn't have to match the actual alignment of the deity. Illustre is chaotic good, but she accepts... Wait.
I actually have something about that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That was going to be...
I just wanted to establish that that's how it actually works. And it's not just your deity is lawful good, you have to be lawful good.
Yeah, so it actually stated in 3rd edition that they can be one step away from their deity's alignment. So if the deity is lawful good, they could be neutral good or lawful neutral and still fine because they're just one step away.
Oh, okay. Because I know in some... It is stated specifically that
Certain alignments are not accepted.
but some of them are, even if they're a
Right.
step further away. But I know that that's how also it works in 5th edition.
I believe so. We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm doing that thing where I try to jump ahead to clarify a point.
No, I mean,
and
that
it's
was literally my next step in my notes. So you kind of just hit it.
okay.
Good job.
Where I'm just trying to clarify a point for myself, but then I'm blowing something else up.
It does
Anyway.
say that clerics may not be neutral unless their deities are specifically neutral. So clerics can now be neutral, it's just you have to have a deity that is also neutral.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And in this edition, clerics can actually be more devoted to a cause or a source of divine power rather than a deity itself.
Okay.
So you could choose to be devoted to like just a cause rather than a deity.
Or
just
you
like
could-
a general cause of like law rather than a lawful deity.
Okay. Or you could be a Kuo-toa cleric and worship a rock.
Yes.
Or that.
See our episode on Kuo-toa.
Yeah, Kuo-toa. In this, they are now officially ordained by the church, or, you know, whatever religious organization they're a part of.
Right.
But they're now, like, clerics are seen as officially ordained, which was just kind of a little tidbit that I hadn't seen before, so that was kind of cool.
So previously, you couldn't just like find a cleric to marry you. Stupid.
But also, probably.
Yeah. So like your party cleric couldn't marry you, but now they can.
Yeah. So now you can be just married by your party cleric if you really want to.
Aw, that's romantic. Get married on the road by your battle-tested compatriot. Aw,
Aw.
that's kind
Yeah.
of cute, actually.
That is actually kind of cute.
Aw, okay.
All races have at least like some form of cleric, but it says that most of the crusading or adventuring clerics are humans and dwarves.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, given that a lot of the time in any given campaign setting, humans are probably the primary race that's like manifesting their destiny everywhere.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense that their clerics would be like the proselytizing type.
Yeah.
Worship my god. He's the best.
Just sort of like real humans.
Ooh.
Well, these were actually kind of based off of like crusaders and like old medieval religious orders. It was
Doing the crusading thing.
yeah, and that was actually like specified in I think first edition.
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
it actually kind of went into detail about some of the like Templars and the Crusaders,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, as cool as that is, I just can't really squeeze all of that in.
Yeah.
So I just
And I mean,
kinda-
it's like if you've played Assassin's Creed, you
You
know
know.
Yeah.
everything about the Crusades. I'm
And-
definitely being serious.
Yeah. Yep.
But like I've
definitely.
played Assassin's Creed, so like I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. So among savage humanoids, the savage ones that are, you know, like goblins and
Oh, I thought we were like on savage humans, and I was
no,
like,
savage humanoids.
specifically-
That's why I specified like we're looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
different things that are considered humanoid. They're just
I just misheard you. I was very confused for a second.
clerics are less common. This is for all of them except for troglodytes. Because troglodytes apparently take very well to divine magic and are often led by priests.
Yeah, I think I've read that somewhere.
Now, their priests make a practice by sacrificing and
Oh,
devouring
I mean-
captives, but you know,
I mean, that's fine.
they are savage humanoids. So
It's whatever.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine. It actually specified that clerics will sometimes clash with druids because of a separation of like the old and more primal relationship between the mortal and the divine that the druids follow.
Oh, okay.
So like clerics don't like the fact that druids still hold to like these old primal ways.
So they don't like that they're just like objectively a lot cooler.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't hate clerics and I don't hate paladins.
That's untrue.
I for real don't hate clerics. I just think that
I was calling bullshit on the paladin part.
okay, yeah. I don't hate all paladins. I just hate paladins as a concept. I'm kidding. I enjoy a well played out paladin. I just
Right.
joke about them being hall monitors. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
So there's no minimum requirement for abilities anymore to be a cleric, though it does specify that wisdom does help to determine how powerful and how many like spells the cleric can cast. So,
Yeah.
well, it's not required. You should probably put your higher one into.
Yeah, unless you yourself are just a really lucky person who always rolls really well.
Yeah.
Which I am not. So
Me either. I don't know anyone who really is, honestly.
if you are, I hate you.
They do, however, throw in the little tidbit of you have to have a wisdom score of 10 plus the spell's level in order to be able to cast the spell now.
Yeah, it's like that in 3.5.
Yeah, so they've introduced that now for this because it's like you don't have to have a minimum requirement, but if you want to cast the spell, you have
do,
to have
yeah.
a higher
Yeah.
wisdom score to do it.
I mean, I played an intelligence-based character, but it's the same thing.
Right. Their hit dice, still a D8. Like I said, that sticks kind of throughout the rest of the time here.
Yeah.
Domains are now a thing rather than spheres. You do have domains. They gain their domain spells after selecting the deity, and 2 domains that their deity is over.
Right.
They introduced starting packages for different races for the different classes in 3rd edition.
Available
apparently.
for download for $7.99.
What are starting packages?
So
Travel domain starting pack. Sorry,
the
I'm
starting
stupid.
packages were for whatever race you were going to be. And they included pre-picked armors, weapons, 1 feat, a bonus feat, a deity and a domain, some starting gear, and some starting gold for whatever race you were going to be of that class.
Oh, so it's kind of like they do that now with pre-made character sheets, don't they? They essentially do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 5th edition has that as a thing, but...
There's a specific term that I'm forgetting, but they're basically like pre-made characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they kind of introduced starting packages, which was kind of cool because I never really thought about the fact that that's probably why we have them now.
It's because they were such a success then.
Yeah, but the difference is in this one, in 3rd edition, you couldn't pick between like a sword or something else. It was, you pick this starting pack, you start out with this armor, this sword, this feat.
Right. It was more, this is what you get.
Yeah, which I mean, I would imagine that's especially a very helpful tool for like if you're running a one shot. So then you're like, oh, you can just be this, elven cleric with a longsword of fucking Illustrae like longswords.
Right.
Or bastard swords, excuse me.
Yes.
Whatever.
Bastard sword.
Which is such a good name.
It is.
I loved when that was like a thing in like a fantasy game as like a kid because it was an excuse for me to say a cuss and have it be like, well, you had to say because it's a bastard sword. It's not some other kind of sword. It's a bastard sword.
It's not like you can't avoid saying the
Yeah,
cuss.
you have to
say
say
the
it.
cuss.
Anyway,
So now we're going to get into the one that doesn't exist.
which one is that? I have no memory of it.
Exactly.
It's 4th edition.
It's 4th edition, yeah. I will forever hold my grudge against 4th edition, and clerics don't really change my opinion on that
oh no.
at all. Because, oh my god.
What did they do to cleric?
Okay, so starting out, there are 2 basic builds to start with. You
Okay.
have the battle cleric
Okay.
and the devoted cleric. I mean, this part's fine. It's okay. This is whatever. The battle cleric, obviously, strength is their primary stat because they're going to be more the like melee focused.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
always been a component with clerics is that they're more physically suited than other casters.
Yeah. So
Fine.
this one focuses more on
hitting things.
hitting things and like using your divine power more or less just to like beat the hell out of things.
You're like a buff. You're like a buff yourself cleric.
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange because it says that wisdom should be their secondary and charisma their third, but not constitution. So that didn't necessarily make a lot of sense to me, but whatever.
Whatever.
They have suggested feats, skills, at will powers, and here's where you lose me.
Oh no.
Oh, I think we lost you at 4th edition.
Yeah.
But go on.
These are new in 4th edition called encounter powers, which
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
every fucking class has them.
Yeah. This
They can be used once per encounter, and they are renewed on a short rest, and there are fucking daily powers. Same thing, once per day. Every class has them. Now every fucking class has the ability to cast these goddamn spells when they really shouldn't. Except for, I decided to look a little bit. It's not called a spell or a power for a fighter. It's called a fucking exploit.
But it is like
But
mechanically
it's
the same
literally
thing.
mechanically the same thing.
It
Gives them
word.
some sort of like advantage or extra bonus damage or something that they can use. And I'm just like, why?
That's such a poor word choice. Like they might as well
Yeah.
call it a glitch.
Yeah.
A glitch.
Literally. Like
Yeah.
it's the same connotation.
It's literally called an encounter exploit or a daily exploit. I'm not talking about fighters here, but good God.
Yeah, that's honestly the body of the primary criticism that I've heard people have for 4th edition is the encounter powers or encounter exploits and dailies and shit like that. Because I've heard that it really does basically streamline everything into like, once you're a high enough level, you as a fighter or you as a cleric don't differ very much from your party members who might be spellcasters or any other class.
Right.
Exactly.
Again, I've never played 4th edition. I've never seen this in action, but that is the body.
From what I've been told, because of these encounter and daily spells and powers, every class is basically the same at that point.
Yeah,
It just made it bad.
It just doesn't feel like you have options anymore. It just feels like everyone's doing the same thing. And it like adds to the monotony that sometimes comes with streamlined D&D.
Yeah.
So jumping in, we have devoted clerics, which are basically just the buffing and healing clerics.
Your support class.
Yeah,
Right.
they are just strictly their supports. They focus more on healing spells and spells that will buff up the party to enhance their fighting abilities, basically.
They're the character you play if you hate yourself and you also want to hate your friends by the end of your campaign.
Yep, because they follow wisdom, charisma, and then strength as their main abilities in that order.
Which, I mean, that
One makes
sense to me.
that one makes more sense. The whole like not throwing Constitution is like maybe your third highest for the battle cleric kind of gets me, but whatever.
That suggested stat path at least makes sense to me.
Yeah.
For the devoted.
Yeah, like, I just feel like the battle cleric needs to be reworked.
More constituted.
Or just burned at this point.
No.
It's fine.
Channel Divinity has now been introduced.
Did that have pretty much the same effect early on?
Yeah, pretty much, except you could use Channel Divinity once per encounter rather than like twice daily or
twice
equal
per
to
short rest or equal to cleric level.
Right.
Yeah, so
Times
it's like you can
0.42,
use this
yada, yada.
Channel Divinity once per encounter.
Which might seem like too much, but I guess it depends on how often you're having encounters.
Or like what specifically you want to use Channel Divinity for.
Yeah.
Or what yours is, which is essentially, just for clarification, Channel Divinity is a specific power that you can use based on your clerical domain, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, for example, a nature cleric could use their Channel Divinity to talk to animals and plants, for example.
Yeah. Which,
Pretty
I
much.
mean, when you like realize how different they are from like domain to domain, like it's not necessarily that OP to have once per encounter.
Yeah, I think it really just depends. Because again, I've never played a cleric, and I've never specifically played a cleric in 4th edition, so... Because I've never played 4th edition.
So, let's see. Once per encounter, you can invoke divine powers to use your Channel Divinity power, filling yourself with the might of your patron deity. With the divine might you invoke, you can wield, special powers, such as like turn undead and divine fortune, and... So yeah, it kind of just depends on what domain you have. It gives you a specific Channel Divinity, but you can use it once per encounter. So it's like, cool, I can just constantly use this. Thanks. Stupid.
Us talking very like carefully and like thinking of, like, this isn't quite as OP as it sounds. Travis,
Stupid. They introduced something called Healer's Lore in 4th edition.
Well, there's one of those words I like.
Yeah, which basically allows a cleric to use, or allows a cleric who uses a healing spell that has healing as its keyword. I don't even understand why there would be a difference, but okay. Add their wisdom modifier to the hit point total that they heal for.
I mean...
Okay.
Actually, you're wrong about that. Healer's lore is what you call your backstory when you have a cleric. This is my healer's lore.
This is my healer's lore.
His parents are dead.
Because everyone's parents are dead.
They also introduced Healing Word, which you can use to grant extra like resilience to your party members.
Isn't that okay? Wouldn't that healer's lore basically just buff healing word though? Because everything else is like cure wounds, right?
I didn't look at the healing spells for 4th edition because it was like burning my eyes to read about 4th edition.
And also that's a lot of really specific things. But like it's
also that, yeah.
I bet it's like cure wounds, cure serious wounds, that kind of thing. So like, wouldn't that just be a buff to healing
It
word?
literally just feels like a buff to healing word.
Which I mean, could use it because healing word sucks, but
They gain.
I don't know how it would work, but yeah, that sounds like just a buff to healing word explicitly.
That's kind of what it sounds like. There might be some other healing spells that have healing as its keyword, but
whatever.
who knows?
It's fine.
They gain Ritual Caster as a bonus feat, which allows them to cast rituals.
Yeah.
They gain a ritual book that has 2 rituals that they have mastered in it. There's the Gentle Repose ritual, and then one other one that the player can choose. Again, didn't look into what it does.
Gentle Repose is basically like it prevents someone from being turned undead, and it prevents them from being resurrected. As long as it's the same in 5th edition.
Okay, well, here you go. It
no.
quintuples the time that the corpse can lie dead and still be affected by Raise Dead or a similar ritual.
Oh, I knew that spell in
Okay.
Pathfinder.
So
Like, I knew that as a spell in Pathfinder.
it is different from 5th edition.
Yep, it can also protect the corpse from,
Being turned into a zombie.
being raised as an undead creature for 150 days.
Okay,
that's
so
a
maybe
long
it is
time.
the same. I don't know. I think it might be the same.
This also apparently has a key skill heal. I don't know. I just don't know.
Travis and 5th edition or 4th edition. Let's get you out of 4th edition.
There's still a few more things I have to pick through
Aw.
here. They still pick deities to devote themselves to, but their deity does not directly grant them powers in 4th edition.
What? What?
How does it work? How does it work?
So
What
it
does
says,
it all mean?
It says the ordination or investiture as a cleric grants them the ability to wield divine powers.
So it's not the deity, it's the church.
It's the church.
the organized religion, the bureaucracy of the clerical system. Oh man, okay.
Boo.
So it's kind of
What a bad take. That's a bad take.
or alternatively, it's okay.
A cleric holding or wearing their holy symbol can add their enhancement bonus to attack and damage rolls of cleric powers. They can still use their powers and everything without a holy symbol, they just can't add their enhancement bonus.
So wear your holy symbol.
Yeah.
Always
much.
wear your holy symbol.
Healing Word is a class feature along with Channel Divinity, so no matter what you choose as far as deity or domain, you get Healing Word and Channel Divinity as a class feature.
Okay.
Yeah, so your cleric's always going to be a healer.
A little
Well,
bit.
not always going to be a healer. Like that's not always the niche they're going to fill in the
But
party
they're always going to have the ability
to heal. Yeah,
Which feels appropriate.
it's fine. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, someone probably needs to do it, but And finally, we get to 5th edition.
We're finally
Out of the forest.
We're out of
ready to
4th
save
edition. I've left that behind. And
Never to revisit it again
until the next time.
until
next
like
time.
3 weeks from now.
Yep. In 5th edition, gods give the powers to the cleric.
Yay.
Again.
Stuff that makes sense.
Because clerics are chosen to fulfill a high calling
Yeah.
in 5th edition, basically. And there's not actually a whole lot of information regarding a whole lot of differences in 5th edition for clerics, because it all kind of got streamlined and
Refined.
refined, and it's all the same, just a whole lot better, I guess. It's very similar.
So streamlined in the sense of it's less cumbersome, or streamlined in the sense of everything is overly similar.
It's less cumbersome.
Okay, because we were just talking about how streamlining in the sense of everything is way too similar and eventually everything plays the same is
Yeah, it's less cumbersome in this case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their powers rely on devotion and, intuitive sense of their deity's wishes. They rely on melee training to fight up close while they're wielding the power of their deity.
okay
For magic.
for magic.
Clerics usually pick up adventuring because their god tells them to, more or less. Their god kind of sends them on like a, hey, you need to go take care of this. And they're like, okay. And then they go.
Okay.
Go hang out with these people. They need it.
They fucking need your help.
They need help.
Please. They steal things so much, you need to help them.
They're gonna, like, they need your help, both in this world and the next. They're so bad that when they die, which they're gonna die, they're gonna go to hell. So
they're going to immediately go to hell. They will not be allowed to pass go.
or collect 200 gold. They will die, and they will go to hell.
They still have the D8 hit dice. I'm sorry, hit die. I always mix those up.
It's fine.
It's fine.
They still have the ability to use simple weapons as well as light armor, medium armor, and shields.
Can they not use martial weapons?
No.
I thought clerics could use martial weapons.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
That might be a special feat that you can take.
That, I believe, is what it is, yes.
Because I've definitely, run into some 5e clerics that could, but I'm guessing it's because they had a feat.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you can use weapons outside of what you actually are trained in, but you don't add your proficiency, right?
Yeah, you don't add your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, so you could hypothetically use, if you could use a better sword or what the fuck ever. You just wouldn't add your proficiency bonus, which after a while would make it hard to use.
Yeah, which I also believe in 5th edition that depending on what deity you choose, you gain proficiency with their favorite weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's always that ability too. So if you choose a deity that has a warhammer as their
favorite weapon,
you gain that proficiency just out of
because of
religious
reasoning.
Yeah.
They still have wisdom as their main ability for their spells and their saving throws, all of that lovely stuff.
Right.
They have ritual casting, which in this allows the cleric to cast any spell as a ritual as long as it has the ritual tag and they have that spell prepared.
Yeah.
Which I believe in 5th edition, you can cast anything as a ritual. It takes 10 minutes and it doesn't expend a spell slot when you do so.
Correct.
So they have the ability to do this, as well as I'm pretty sure almost any other.
Druids can.
Wizards can.
Wizards can. Sorcerers can if they take a feat, and I believe warlocks can if they take a feat, and maybe bards. I think everyone else has to be able to take the feat. Has to take the feat in order to.
Yeah.
So they're probably the only ones that can do it without taking that feat.
Well, no, druids and
druids.
Wizards.
And wizards.
I think.
It's definitely one of the arcane spell, the main arcane spellcasters.
Yeah.
And I think it is wizards.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know that they can do it. I just don't know if it's a feat.
Ah.
Because I've never played a wizard.
Yeah, me neither.
I played an arcane trickster, which is wizard light with flips, but which is just, but I would have never also, I never thought to really fuck around with ritual casting because it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah,
so whatever.
most of the time. But, I guess if you're, using a ritual before, if you need to use a big spell before you enter a battle and you want all of your spell slots, that would make sense.
Or if you don't want to burn your spell slot after the fight to identify the cool amulet you took off the guy. That's when you do ritual casting.
So they have the more, streamlined domains, knowledge, light, life, nature, tempest, trickery, or war that they can choose from.
Right.
Based on their chosen deity. They get domain spells now, depending on which domain they choose. You always have domain spells prepared. That's something that clerics never have to specifically state.
Right.
Whatever domain spells they have access to, they're just always prepared.
Extra, always prepared spells.
Yes.
And on the note of comparing clerics to other classes, I believe druids and wizards work the same way. Their class or their school or domain or circle spells are always prepared.
Yep. Channel Divinity is still there.
Right.
You have Turn Undead as one of your things you can use. And then the other Channel Divinity you can use comes from whatever domain you choose. So in this case, let's say you choose Knowledge Domain. You get the Channel Divinity ability, Knowledge of the Ages.
Ooh.
You can use Channel Divinity to tap into a divine well of knowledge as an action. you choose one skill or tool, and for 10 minutes, you have proficiency with the chosen skill or tool.
That's pretty freaking cool.
That's at 2nd level. You get another access that's called Read Thoughts at like 6th level. You can basically read the creature's thoughts.
Yeah.
You can then use your access to the creature's mind to command it with that, apparently.
Oh, no.
Dang.
As an action, choose one creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. The creature must make a wisdom saving throw. Nothing happens if it succeeds.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
If
Being
it
that
fails, you can read its surface thoughts. And when it is within 60 feet of you, the effect lasts for 1 minute. During this time, you can use your action to end this effect and cast the suggestion spell. But, very obviously, I'm not going to go through all the different channel divinities that you can get. But every domain offers a different, 2 different channel divinity uses, as well as turn undead.
Yeah.
Which I didn't note earlier, and I believe it was starting in like 2nd or 3rd edition. Turn undead can be used to just completely destroy undead creatures if they're weak enough compared to you.
Yeah.
So if they're like at a certain like hit die,
They'll just
disintegrate into nothingness.
And die.
And
Die again.
Die again right now.
But yeah, that's what we got with our lovely, lovely clerics and their whole adventure through the white box set.
To now.
And to possibly anything that they might come up with in the future, which we'll cover when that happens.
Yay!
See, I feel like for what I would imagine is the case for some other classes, I feel like there weren't a whole lot of super major changes.
No, I feel like there were kind of more subtle changes than anything as time went on.
That
until you hit 4th edition, and then it just kind of burned, and then you got back to normal.
Yeah, they took a hard left turn somewhere, and then they got back on the road.
God, they took a hard left turn.
I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And yet they tried.
Well, they tried... In 4th edition, they tried that with a lot of things.
They tried a lot. They tried a lot of things.
I know.
4th edition was
4th edition.
And I apologize to anyone that is their favorite edition, but why?
Nostalgia. I mean, I'm sure that there's some. I mean, like I said, 4th edition I feel like did a good job with Dragonborn.
Yeah.
There's 1 point for them.
Okay, here's it's time for Taylor's opinion.
Our favorite side segment.
Yes. There are probably a lot of things in 4th edition that didn't improve Dungeons and Dragons, but not it's hard to separate them from all the things that and this is my personal opinion, that I personally just didn't like about 4th edition. And
we're not saying that at any point you can't sit down and play 4th edition and have a good time, which is the point of Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
It's just that, I
personally think that a lot of the balancing was not balanced or too balanced.
Yeah, to the point where everything became the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just not how I want to play my games.
It's fine.
Anyway.
So...
Thank you guys so much for listening. I know we hate on 4th edition a lot.
Thank you for listening to our 4th edition hatecast.
But more than that, it was really fun to hear about clerics and see how many changes that came over time.
And how many didn't, how much remained the same.
Yeah, that's one of the really interesting things about doing this podcast is seeing, a lot of stuff has changed, but a lot of stuff has stayed the same, too.
Yeah, seeing what stuck around.
Yeah, and then you just, you have the same thing, but it's got, the very minor, tweaks to it that they've, this didn't really work last time, so if we change the wording around and it kind of fixes it, oh, nope, that made it worse.
Or
throw that out next time and try it again.
Yeah, exactly. So that was cool.
But, again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you desire to follow us. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Help us continue to grow. We are so thankful for the amount of, progress we have made, and it has inspired us to actually pursue a second podcast, and just thank you guys so much.
Yeah, if you enjoy what we do here, consider not only supporting us on our Patreon, Dungeonpedia, but also checking out that second podcast, which is Projectile Dysfunction, where we play with our friend Jacoby.
Woo! It's live, y'all.
It's live. Yay!
It's live,
I mean, it's been
y'all.
live, but like, it's still live.
And I edit that one, and let me tell you guys, it is a labor of love and stress.
Yeah. If you have anything that you would like to suggest as a topic for us to cover, feel free to send us that little email or big email, medium email, whatever.
Any sized email.
Any sized email is fine. Email us at dungeonpedia.podcast@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys, receive suggestions. It takes quite a bit of thought process away from us whenever we get suggestions, because we can just be like, yeah, I'll just do this, instead of thumbing through 50 years of D&D stuff to figure out what we're going to actually research.
Yeah. Well, thank you once again for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you next week here on Dungeonpedia.
Hey you guys.
What?
Turn undead. Turned undead
Oh my god.
for your party cleric.
Get turned.